The old recording flickered to life in the dim archive room. A Galactic Council member from 200 years ago stared out from the screen, his multiple eyes blinking in sequence. "This is an official warning about the species known as humans," the recording said. "They come from a death world called Earth. They are what we call persistence predators. This means they do not stop hunting once they start. They will follow their prey for days, weeks, even years. Never attack them, never take what is theirs, never harm their young. They do not forget, they do not forgive, and they will never ever stop coming for you." The recording ended. Dust floated in the air where the hologram had been. Captain Vrex of the cartoon species laughed as he turned off the ancient file. His scaled lips pulled back to show rows of sharp teeth. Humans, those soft traitors? That warning is old garbage. Humans have been peaceful for generations now. They just fly their little ships and sell their little goods. His second-in-command, Zek, nodded. His red eyes gleamed in the darkness of their pirate ship. The sensors show a human merchant vessel 3 light hours away. Small crew, lots of cargo, easy money. Vrex stood up from his command chair. His crew of 30 pirates moved to their stations. They had raided hundreds of ships across 12 star systems. They knew how to do this. Fast, brutal, efficient. Take the cargo. Leave no witnesses who could identify them. Disappear into deep space. "Prepare to intercept," Vrex ordered. The human merchant ship was called the Second Chance. It was old but well-maintained, carrying electronics and medicines to the outer colonies. Captain Sarah Chen sat in the pilot's chair, her dark hair pulled back in a simple braid. She was 42 years old and had been a trader for 20 years. Her daughter Maya sat nearby doing homework on a data pad. The 8-year-old girl had her mother's dark eyes and curious nature. She loved traveling through space, loved seeing different worlds and meeting different species. "Mom, what's that?" Maya pointed at the sensor screen. Sarah's face went tight. She recognized a pirate configuration when she saw one. Her hand moved to the communication panel. "This is the Second Chance to unidentified vessel. We are a peaceful merchant ship. We carry no weapons." Vrex's voice came through, already victorious. "Then you will not resist. Cut your engines. Prepare to be boarded." Sarah looked at her small crew. 5 people total, including Maya. All civilians. All families who had chosen the trading life for peace and profit, not violence. She had a pistol in a locked drawer, but what good was one pistol against 30 pirates? "Cut engines," she ordered quietly. Her heart pounded, but her voice stayed calm. "Everyone stay calm. Let them take what they want. Things can be replaced." The pirate ship clamped onto the Second Chance like a predator's jaw. Vrex and his crew poured through the airlock. They moved fast, weapons out, shouting orders. Sarah's crew raised their hands and didn't fight. It took the pirates 20 minutes to strip the cargo holds. Electronics, medicines, food, even the good coffee Sarah had bought at the last station. They took it all. Zek walked through the ship, his boots heavy on the metal floor. He saw family photos on the walls. Children's drawings. A small room that was clearly Maya's with stuffed animals and books. An idea formed in his cruel mind. "Captain Vrex," Zek called. "I have a better plan than just cargo." Vrex came to see. Zek pointed at Maya, who stood close to her mother trying to be brave. "We take the child. Human merchants have money. Human families pay ransoms. We can bleed them for years. Every few months we send a message, they send money. Easy profit." Sarah's face changed. Something cold and ancient moved behind her eyes. "No," she said, her voice very quiet. "Take everything else. Take the ship if you want. But not her." Zek smiled. He liked it when they begged. "Too late for negotiation, human." He moved fast, grabbing Maya before Sarah could react. Maya screamed. Sarah lunged forward, but 2 pirates held her back. She fought them with sudden, terrible strength. It took 4 pirates to hold her down. "Mom," Maya cried, "I will find you." Sarah shouted, still fighting even as they forced her to the floor. "Do you hear me? I will find you." Vrex laughed. "Sure you will, human. Good luck with that." He nodded to his crew. "Let's go. Take the girl to the holding cell." The pirates left, taking Maya with them. The airlock sealed. The pirate ship detached and jumped to faster-than-light speed, disappearing into the black void of space. Sarah's crew helped her up. She was shaking, but not from fear, from rage, from something deeper and older than civilization. "Sarah," one of her crew members said gently, "we need to call the authorities." "The Galactic Council—" "No," Sarah interrupted. Her voice was steady now, cold. "The Council will take months. They'll form committees, file reports. By then, Maya could be dead or sold or... She couldn't finish that thought. She walked to her command chair and pulled up her personal files. Lists of contacts. Favors owed. Debts to be called in. 20 years of trading meant 20 years of relationships across dozens of worlds. Send a message to Marcus Chen on New Terra, she said. Tell him his niece has been taken. Tell him I'm calling in the debt. Sarah, Marcus left military service 10 years ago. He's still my brother. He'll come. Sarah's fingers moved across the console. Send a message to Raj Patel on Earth. Tell him I need his skills. Send a message to Dr. Yuki, to Torvan the Breaker, to everyone who owes me. Her crew watched her work, and for the first time they understood something. Sarah Chen, the peaceful trader, was gone. Something else had awakened. Something that had always been there, sleeping, waiting. The ancient human hunter. Sarah pulled up a star map and began calculating jump routes. Somewhere in the vast darkness of space, pirates thought they were safe. They thought they had won. They were wrong. The recording from 200 years ago had tried to warn them. Never wrong a human. They do not stop. Sarah Chen would prove that warning true. The hunt had begun. Marcus Chen arrived first. He came through the airlock of the Second Chance 3 days after Sarah's message reached him. He was a tall man with gray in his hair and scars on his hands. He had been a scout in the Human Defense Force for 15 years before retiring to a quiet life on New Terra. But when Sarah called, that quiet life became meaningless. Where do we start? He asked, no greeting needed. Sarah was his sister. Maya was his niece. That was all that mattered. Sarah showed him the data she had collected. They jumped to faster-than-light speed on a heading of 247 Mark 18. I've been analyzing residual energy signatures. The jump drive they used was old, probably military surplus from the Vroon Commonwealth. Marcus nodded, studying the information. Vroon drives leak specific radiation. We can track that. The next arrival was Raj Patel, a thin man with quick eyes and faster fingers. He had been a cyber warfare expert during the AI wars. Sarah had once saved his daughter from a station malfunction, and he had told her she could ask for anything. Anytime. Now she was asking. I need you to hack into every surveillance network. Every station log, every black market database you can reach, Sarah told him. Find any mention of a Kartoan pirate crew. Find where they sell their goods. Find their supply lines. Raj set up his equipment in the Second Chance's computer room. Give me 48 hours. I'll find them. Dr. Yuki arrived next, a small woman with steady hands and kind eyes. She was a trauma surgeon who had worked in war zones and disaster areas. I know you didn't call me to fight, she said to Sarah. You called me because you think Maya might be hurt when you find her. I'm coming whether you want me to or not. Sarah hugged her, tears finally coming after 3 days of holding them back. Thank you. The last arrival was unexpected. Torvan the Breaker was not human. He was a Krevlian, a species known for being pirates and mercenaries. But 10 years ago, Sarah had found him floating in a damaged escape pod and had saved his life instead of turning him over to the authorities. Now the massive alien stood in her ship, his forearms crossed. I heard what happened. I know the pirate networks. I know how they think. I will help you hunt them. Sarah looked at her assembled team, a soldier, a hacker, a doctor, and a reformed pirate. Not an army, but it was enough. Raj worked for 2 days straight, barely sleeping. His fingers flew across holographic keyboards as he broke into systems across a dozen worlds. Finally, he found it. The cargo they took from you showed up on a black market station called Rust Harbor, Raj reported. Someone sold medical supplies and electronics matching your inventory. The seller was a Kartoan named Zek. Marcus leaned forward. Can you track where he went after? Better. I can track where he bought supplies. Pirates need to resupply, food, fuel parts. They're trying to hide, so they'll go somewhere remote. Raj pulled up more data. 3 days ago, someone matching Zek's biosignature bought 6 months of preserved food and fuel cells from a smuggler near the Carrion Nebula. Torvan made a growling sound. The Carrion Nebula. It's a graveyard of old ships, dead satellites, lots of debris that blocks sensors. Perfect place to hide a base. Sarah stood up. Then that's where we go. Wait, Marcus said. We can't just fly in and attack. They'll see us coming and they might hurt Maya. Sarah's expression was cold and calm. I know. That's why we're not going to attack. We're going to hunt, she explained her plan. Humans had survived on Earth by being persistence predators. Ancient humans would chase prey for days until the animal collapsed from exhaustion. They would track, trap, and exhaust their target. The prey would think it escaped, but the humans would still be there following, waiting. That was what they would do now. The second chance jumped to the Carrion Nebula. As soon as they arrived, they went dark. All unnecessary systems shut down. The ship became cold and silent, just another piece of debris floating in the graveyard. Raj immediately started hacking into the pirates' communication systems. It was easy once he found their frequency. Pirates weren't good at security. They thought being hidden was enough. "I'm in their network," Raj said quietly. "I can see their messages. I can change them too." "Do it," Sarah ordered. "Make them paranoid. Make them see threats that aren't there." Raj began his work. He sent fake messages between pirate crew members. He altered supply reports to make it look like someone was stealing. He changed duty rosters to create confusion. Marcus took one of the small scout ships and began a different kind of mission. The pirates had sentry ships on patrol around their hidden station. Marcus stalked them one by one. He was patient. He would follow a sentry ship for hours, learning its pattern. Then, when the moment was right, he would disable it. He never left wreckage. He never left survivors. The ship simply vanished, their debris scattered into the nebula where it couldn't be found. One sentry ship disappeared. The pirates thought it was engine failure. 2 sentry ships disappeared. They started to worry. 3 ships disappeared. They started to panic. Inside the hidden pirate station, Vrex paced in his command center. "Where are our patrols? Why aren't they responding?" His crew had no answers. Ships were vanishing. Communications were acting strange. Supplies weren't matching inventory reports. Some crew members accused others of stealing or sabotage. One of Vrex's older pirates, a scarred veteran named Cross, spoke up. "Captain, I think we should release the human child." Vrex spun on him. "What? Why?" "Because of the warning," Cross said, his voice shaking slightly. "The old council warning about humans, about persistent predators, about never taking their young. These patterns, ships vanishing, communications failing, invisible attacks, this is how humans hunt." Vrex's hand moved to his weapon. "Are you a coward, Cross?" "I'm someone who wants to live, Captain." Vrex shot him. The body fell to the floor. "Anyone else want to question my decisions?" No one spoke, but the fear had been planted. That night, Sarah sent a message to the pirate station. It came through on Vrex's private channel, bypassing all security. A human voice, cold and calm. "This is Sarah Chen. You took my daughter. You have one chance. Give her back unharmed and I will let some of you live. Refuse and I promise you there is no escape. I know where you are. I will take everything from you piece by piece until you have nothing left but fear. Then I will take that too." Vrex deleted the message, but his hands were shaking. The hunt continued. Maya sat in the small holding cell trying to be brave. She was scared, but she remembered what her mother always told her. "Chen family is strong. We survive." Another prisoner was in the cell with her, a young alien named Zillik, barely older than Maya in his species years. He was a thin creature with purple skin and large ears. The pirates had taken him from a colony raid 2 weeks ago. "Do you think anyone will save us?" Zillik whispered. His voice was sad and hopeless. Maya nodded firmly. "My mom will come. She always keeps her promises. She said she'd find me, but we're so far away." "How could she find us?" Maya smiled, remembering stories her mom told her about old Earth. "My mom says humans used to hunt animals by chasing them for days and days. The animals would run and run, but humans would just keep walking. They never stopped. They never gave up. Eventually, the animal would be too tired to run anymore." "That sounds scary," Zillik said. "It is," Maya agreed, "for the animal. But we're not the animal. The pirates are." Outside their cell, the pirate station was falling apart. Not physically, but in every other way that mattered. 2 more sentry ships had vanished. Crew members were fighting with each other over missing supplies. Someone had found hidden code in the computer systems, but when they tried to remove it, all the environmental controls shut down for 6 hours. Zek stood in the command center with Vrex, studying reports. "Captain, we need to leave. Something is very wrong here." Vrex wanted to argue, but he knew Zek was right. "Fine, prepare the ships. We'll scatter to different systems and regroup later." The pirates ran to their ships. Engines powered up. Jump drives began charging. Freedom was just minutes away. Then every jump drive failed at the exact same moment. Not all at once, which would have been obvious sabotage. Each ship's jump drive charged to 99%, then shut down with a different error code. It looked like random failures, but happening to every ship at once meant something else. Someone had been inside their systems for a long time, waiting for this exact moment. "Raj," Marcus said from his scout ship, watching the pirates panic. "You're an artist." Raj's voice came through the communication link. They tried to run, just like the prey always does. Torvin had been busy too. Using his knowledge of pirate tactics and old smuggler routes, he had been placing beacons at every possible exit point from the Carrion Nebula. Not attack beacons, just sensors. If any ship tried to leave, Sarah would know exactly where it went. But the pirates didn't know that. All they knew was they were trapped, and something was hunting them. Rex gathered his remaining crew. 30 pirates had become 23. 7 had tried to steal a shuttle and escape. Marcus had stopped them. "No survivors, we fight," Rex said, trying to sound confident. "We find whoever is doing this and we kill them." A younger pirate raised his hand shakily. "Captain, what if it's true? What if it's the humans? What if the warning was real?" Rex didn't shoot this one. He was too tired. "Then we use the girl as a shield. They won't attack if we have her." But Sarah had no intention of attacking the station. Not yet. Dr. Yuki had been preparing medical supplies, but now Sarah gave her a different task. "I need you to send them a message. From one doctor to another." Yuki recorded a message and Raj pushed it through to the pirate station's medical officer, a Solarian named Vesk. The message was simple. "I am Dr. Yuki. I am with Sarah Chen. When this is over, I will treat any wounded who surrender. But I am also very good at treating the kinds of injuries that come from prolonged hunting. Broken spirits, collapsed minds, the kind of damage that comes from being prey. You can still walk away from this. The ones who hurt the child cannot. But you can." Vesk stared at the message for a long time. He went to Vrex's command center. "Captain, I want to leave. I never touched the girl. I just fix injuries. I don't want to die for Zek's stupid idea." 3 other pirates agreed. They wanted out. Vrex let them take a shuttle. It was better to have fewer mouths to feed anyway. The shuttle launched, and for a moment Vrex felt hope. At least someone got away. The shuttle made it 3 hours before Marcus intercepted it, but he didn't attack. Instead, he pulled alongside and opened a communication channel. "I am Marcus Chen, Sarah's brother, Maya's uncle. Did any of you hurt the child?" Vesk answered quickly. "No, I swear. I only saw her twice bringing food. I never touched her. Then dock with my ship. You will be prisoners, but you will live. If you're lying, you won't." The 4 pirates docked. Marcus verified their stories through Raj's hacked surveillance footage. They were telling the truth. He locked them in a holding cell with food and water. "You made the right choice," he told them. "Now you get to live." Back at the station, Vrex was down to 19 crew members. Then 17 when 2 more tried to escape in spacesuits, hoping to drift far enough to call for help. They disappeared into the nebula. Marcus found them eventually. Zek came to Vrex, his red eyes wide with fear. "We need to try one more time to run. Use the fastest ship. Maybe we can get past them." Vrex thought about it. He had one ship, the Crimson Blade, that was faster than the rest. "Military grade. You take it. I'll stay here with the crew. If you make it out, send help." Zek gathered 2 loyal pirates and ran to the Crimson Blade. The ship's engines roared to life. The jump drive charged properly this time. Raj had left this one functional on purpose. The Crimson Blade shot out of the nebula at maximum speed. Zek laughed as the stars stretched around them. "We made it. We actually made it." The ship jumped to faster than light speed. 3 light hours away from the nebula, safe in the black void, Zek started celebrating. They were free. They had escaped the human hunters. Then the reactor started making a strange sound. Zek ran to the engine room. His 2 crew members were already there, staring at the reactor with horror. Someone had been there recently. Wires had been cut and rerouted. Sabotage that would only activate after a long-distance jump. Marcus Chen stepped out of the cargo hold where he had been hiding for 6 hours, waiting patiently. He had snuck aboard before the ship launched, silent as a shadow. "Zek," Marcus said calmly, "you took my niece. You made her cry. You scared her." Zek pulled his weapon, but Marcus was faster. The fight was short and brutal. When it ended, Marcus stood alone in the engine room, breathing hard. He set the reactor to overload and took the only escape pod back toward the nebula. Behind him, the crimson blade became a brief, bright star in the darkness. Sarah received Marcus's message. Zek is gone. Time to finish this. Vrek sat in his command chair, staring at his sensors. The crimson blade's signature had just vanished in a reactor explosion. Zek was dead. More than half his crew was gone. His station was surrounded by invisible hunters. For the first time in his long career as a pirate, Vrex understood true fear. The noose had tightened. There was no escape. The second chance emerged from the debris field like a ghost ship becoming solid. Sarah Chen stood at the command console, her face calm but her eyes burning with purpose. 23 days had passed since they took Maya. 23 days of hunting, tracking and tightening the trap. Now it was time to finish it. Raj, open a channel to the station, Sarah ordered. The communication screen flickered to life. Vrex's scaled face appeared, looking tired and afraid. Behind him, Sarah could see his remaining crew. Only 14 pirates left from the original 30. I'm going to make this very simple, Sarah said, her voice cold and steady. Send out everyone who never touched my daughter. They will be prisoners, but they will live. Everyone who hurt her, scared her, or made her cry stays with you. In 10 minutes, I'm coming aboard. After that, surrender won't be an option for them. Vrex tried to sound tough. You're just one ship. We're still 14 armed pirates. You'll die if you try to board us? Sarah smiled, and it was the most terrifying thing Vrex had ever seen. I'm not alone. And you're not 14 pirates. You're 14 terrified people who finally understand what the warning meant. She cut the transmission. 8 pirates ran for the airlocks, their hands up, weapons thrown aside. They had never wanted to take the child. They just wanted the cargo. Now they wanted to live. Marcus met them at the airlock, scanning each one with equipment Raj had prepared. The scan showed who had been near the holding cells, who had handled Maya. 6 of the 8 were clean. He let them board as prisoners. 2 had lied. They had guarded Maya's cell and had enjoyed scaring her. Marcus sent them back to the station. You made your choice, he said simply. That left 8 pirates on the station with Vrex. 8 who had hurt, threatened, or terrorized an 8-year-old girl because they thought it was funny or profitable. Sarah's team breached the station from 3 entry points simultaneously. Marcus went high, through a maintenance airlock. Torvan went low through the cargo bay. Sarah went through the main entrance, walking slowly and deliberately. The pirates tried to fight. They had weapons and numbers. But they were fighting people who had a purpose stronger than survival. They were fighting a mother getting her child back. Marcus moved through the corridors like smoke. His training from years in military service came back instantly. He didn't shoot to wound. He didn't give second chances. These pirates had terrorized children for profit. They had made Maya cry. That was unforgivable. Torvan was less subtle. His forearms could hold 4 weapons, and he used all of them. Pirates tried to ambush him, but he had been a pirate himself once. He knew every trick. More importantly, he remembered Sarah saving his life when she could have left him to die. He owed her everything. He paid that debt in the corridors of the station. Sarah walked through the main hallway and pirates ran from her. Not because she was shooting. She held only a pistol and moved carefully. They ran because of what they saw in her eyes. The ancient human predator finally catching up to prey that had run itself to exhaustion. One pirate tried to surrender to her, dropping his weapon. Please, I'm sorry. I didn't hurt her badly. Sarah looked at him. You hurt her at all? I just scared her a little. Made her cry. But I didn't. Sarah shot him once, clean, efficient. She kept walking. The security footage showed everything. Raj had hacked the cameras weeks ago. He knew which pirates had done what. He guided the team through communication links, telling them who could surrender and who couldn't. Sarah, the holding cells are on level 3, Raj said in her ear. Maya is there. 2 guards outside. Sarah moved faster now. Her heart pounded, but her hand stayed steady. She reached level 3 and saw the 2 guards. One was the pirate who had grabbed Maya from the second chance. The other had laughed when Maya cried for her mother. They saw Sarah coming and grabbed for their weapons. Sarah was faster. She had been practicing for 23 days, imagining this moment. The corridor became quiet. Sarah opened the cell door. Maya was huddled in the corner with Zillik. both of them scared by the sounds of fighting. Then Maya saw her mother and screamed, "Mom," and ran forward. Sarah caught her daughter and held her tight, tears finally streaming down her face. "I've got you. I've got you. You're safe now. I knew you'd come," Maya sobbed into her mother's shoulder. "I told Zillik you would. I told him humans never stop." Sarah noticed the other child, the alien boy who had befriended her daughter. "Zillik, you're safe too. I promise." But they weren't alone. Vrex appeared in the doorway, a weapon in his hand. His scales were pale with fear, but desperation made him dangerous. "Stop, I'll shoot." "I'll shoot them both." Sarah put Maya behind her. Dr. Yuki appeared in the corridor behind Vrex, silent as a ghost. She had insisted on coming aboard to help Maya immediately if needed. Now she held a medical laser scalpel, the kind used for surgery. Her hands, which had saved thousands of lives, stayed perfectly steady. "Drop the weapon, Vrex," Yuki said softly. "I took an oath to preserve life, but that oath has exceptions for people who threaten children." Vrex spun, but Yuki was a trauma surgeon. She knew exactly where to cut. The shot was perfect, precise. Vrex's weapon clattered to the floor. He collapsed, clutching his arm. "That was a warning shot," Yuki said, her voice still calm. "The next one won't be." Marcus and Torvon arrived, securing the area. Sarah picked up Maya and held her close, checking her for injuries. Bruises, signs of rough handling, but Maya was alive and mostly unhurt. "Mom, we have to take Zillik too," Maya said firmly. "He's my friend. He doesn't have family. The pirates took him." Sarah looked at the scared alien child and nodded. "We take him too." They moved back to the second chance with their rescued children. Behind them, Vrex lay on the floor, defeated and broken. Marcus came back one more time, pulling Vrex to his feet. "There's a Galactic Council patrol ship 2 light hours away," Marcus said. "Someone sent them anonymous evidence of your crimes. Every raid, every theft, every person you hurt. 20 years of evidence." Vrex's eyes widened. "The Council will execute me." "Yes," Marcus agreed. "But here's the interesting thing. Their ship's brig has a malfunction. The wall facing us won't lock properly. You might escape during transport. You might make it to an escape pod." Vrex felt a moment of hope. "Why are you telling me this?" Marcus leaned close. "Because if you escape, you'll end up back here. Back with Sarah, and she's not done with you yet. The Council will give you a trial and a quick execution. Sarah will give you justice. Choose." Vrex looked into Marcus's eyes and saw the truth. If he escaped, Sarah would hunt him again. And this time there would be no mercy, no chance of survival. "I'll take the Council," Vrex whispered. Marcus nodded. "Smart choice. You're learning." The Council patrol ship arrived exactly on schedule. The Thranx officer, an insect-like being with multiple eyes, looked at the evidence and then at Sarah. "This is thorough. We've been hunting this pirate crew for 5 years. Sometimes humans are better at hunting," Sarah said simply. The officer's mandibles clicked in what might have been agreement or respect. "The Council will want to speak with you. Later. Right now, I'm taking my daughter home." The patrol ship took Vrex and the surviving pirates. Sarah's team returned to the second chance with Maya and Zillik. Dr. Yuki checked both children thoroughly. Physical injuries were minor. Emotional injuries would take longer to heal, but they were alive. They were safe. They were going home. Maya fell asleep in her mother's arms, finally feeling safe again. Zillik curled up nearby, already bonding with his new adopted family. Sarah looked out at the stars and thought about the old warning. Never wrong a human. Never take their young. The galaxy had just been reminded why. 3 weeks after the rescue, Maya woke up screaming from a nightmare. Sarah was there instantly, holding her daughter close. "It's okay. You're safe. You're home," Maya cried into her mother's shoulder. "I dreamed they took me again. They can't, they're gone."
All of them. It was the 4th nightmare this week.
Dr. Yuki said it was normal. Trauma took time to heal. Some wounds couldn't be seen on scanners or fixed with medicine. But Maya wasn't alone in her healing. Uncle Marcus visited every day, teaching her self-defense moves and telling her funny stories. Aunt Yuki checked on her and brought her favorite foods. Uncle Raj taught her how to code and make computer programs that drew silly pictures. Even Torvon, the big scary alien, became a gentle friend who played games with her. And Zillik was there too. The young alien boy had nowhere else to go, so Sarah officially adopted him. Maya finally had the sibling she'd always wanted. They helped each other heal, talking about their fears when the nightmares came. While the children recovered, something else was happening across the galaxy. Stories were spreading. It started with the rescued pirates, the ones who had surrendered. They were imprisoned on council stations, awaiting trial. But they talked to guards. They talked to other prisoners. They told the story of how one human woman hunted down an entire pirate crew in 23 days. The story spread to news networks. A reporter from the Galactic News Service contacted Sarah asking for an interview. Sarah refused, but the reporter found other people to talk to. Marcus, the council patrol officer. Even some of the criminals who had been in the same prison as the captured pirates. The story went viral across a dozen systems. Human merchant becomes. Hunter mother tracks pirates across the stars. The warning was real. Human persistence proves deadly. Never take a human's child. One pirate crew learns the hard way. On the world of Thranix, a group of young pirates sat in a bar, watching the news broadcast. The leader, a cocky Vrelian named Scar, laughed at the screen. It's just one story. Humans are still weak traitors. Easy targets. An older alien at the bar turned to look at him. She was a Thranx, one of the insect species that made up the Galactic Council. I was the patrol officer who arrested what was left of Rex's crew. I saw the evidence. I saw the security footage. That human woman spent 3 weeks systematically destroying an entire pirate organization. She didn't do it with superior weapons or a larger crew. She did it by never stopping, never giving up, never letting them rest. Scar shifted uncomfortably. So what? She got lucky. It wasn't luck, the Thranx officer said. It was nature. Humans evolved as persistence predators on a death world. They hunted animals by chasing them for days until the prey collapsed from exhaustion. They tracked wounded prey across continents. They built tools and strategies to hunt creatures larger and more dangerous than themselves. And they never ever forgot a grudge. She stood up to leave, then paused. The warning was filed 200 years ago by a council member who studied Earth. He tried to tell us. Now we know he was right. If you're smart, you'll remember this. Never wrong a human. Especially never hurt their young. The bar became very quiet after she left. Similar conversations happened across the galaxy. Pirate crews, smugglers, and raiders heard the story and started giving human ships a wider berth. The risk wasn't worth the reward anymore. On Earth, the story reached the Human Defense Force. A young cadet named Jennifer Park sat in class, watching the news broadcast about Sarah Chen's hunt. The instructor, Commander Wei, paused the video. Some of you might wonder why this story is important for military study, Commander Wei said. This is one civilian woman, not a soldier. But look at what she accomplished. Look at the tactics. Patience, persistence, psychological warfare. Turning the enemy's own systems against them. These are the traits that made humans survive on Earth. These are the traits that make us dangerous when we need to be. A cadet raised his hand. Sir, is it true what the old council warning says? That we're persistence predators? Commander Wei nodded. For most of human history, we survived by being smarter and more stubborn than anything else. We couldn't outrun a deer, but we could track it for days until it collapsed. We couldn't overpower a mammoth, but we could hunt it in coordinated groups and drive it where we wanted. We are not the fastest species. We are not the strongest. But we are the most relentless. He restarted the video. Sarah Chen proves that. She tracked pirates across light years using nothing but determination and the help of people she had befriended over 20 years. That's another human trait. We bond with others. We make alliances. We remember kindness and we repay debts. But we also remember cruelty, and we take justice for those we love. Jennifer Park watched the rest of the video thoughtfully. She had joined the Defense Force to protect human colonies from threats. Now she understood that sometimes the best protection was making sure threats knew better than to attack in the first place. On a space station called Rust Harbor, where Zek had sold Sarah's stolen cargo, a meeting of pirate captains was taking place. They gathered in a private room to discuss territory and profits. But the main topic of conversation was the Chen story. We need new rules, one captain said. No more taking hostages, especially no more human hostages. What about their cargo? Humans haul valuable goods, another argued. Then we negotiate. We offer to buy the cargo at a fair price. If they refuse, we let them go. It's not worth the risk. A third captain, older and scarred from many raids, spoke up. I remember when the warning was first filed. I was young then. Everyone laughed at it. called it propaganda, but I met a few old pirates who had tangled with humans before. They told me stories. Humans who tracked their attackers for years. Humans who infiltrated pirate stations alone to rescue captured crew members. Humans who memorized the faces of everyone who wronged them and hunted them down one by one. He looked around the room. Sarah Chen isn't an exception. She's a reminder that humans are only peaceful because they choose to be, but if you make them choose violence, they're very, very good at it. The pirate captains voted. New rules were established. Human ships were off limits unless the humans attacked first. The vote was unanimous. Back on the second chance, Sarah was preparing to return to her trading routes. The ship had been repaired. The cargo holds were full. Marcus had returned to New Terra, but he called every day to check on Maya. Raj had gone back to Earth, but he had installed new security systems on Sarah's ship for free. Dr. Yuki had returned to her hospital, but she had taught Sarah how to handle Maya's trauma responses. Torvald stayed. I have no other place, he said simply. And someone needs to help protect your ship. I owe you a life debt, Sarah accepted. The second chance now had a crew of 4. Sarah, Maya, Zilik, and Torvald. Small but family. As they prepared to depart the station, Sarah noticed something strange. Every ship they passed gave them extra space. Pirates and smugglers who would normally crowd the lanes moved aside. Some even sent friendly messages wishing them safe travels. Mom, why is everyone being so nice? Maya asked. Sarah smiled slightly. Because they heard our story. They know what happens when you wrong a human. Will they leave us alone now? Most of them will, Sarah said. But if someone doesn't, we'll handle it together. Maya hugged her mother. You came for me, just like you promised. Always, Sarah said. That's what humans do. We keep our promises. We protect our family. And we never ever stop. The second chance undocked and jumped to faster than light speed, heading toward the outer colonies with a new load of trade goods. Behind them, the galaxy whispered stories of the human mother who became a hunter. The warning had been renewed. Not by the Galactic Council filing an official document, but by practical demonstration. Never wrong a human. Never take their young. They do not forget. They do not forgive. And they never ever stop. Somewhere in deep space, a young pirate crew spotted a human merchant vessel on their sensors. The captain studied it, remembering the stories. He thought about easy cargo and quick profit. Then he thought about Sarah Chen hunting across the void for 23 days. Change course, the captain ordered. Find different prey. His crew didn't question the order. They had all heard the stories too. The human ship continued on its journey, unaware it had just been spared. But Sarah Chen sat in her pilot's chair watching the stars, and knew that somewhere out there the galaxy was learning the lesson. You can't escape from a human who has decided to hunt you, because humans are persistence predators, and the one thing they do better than any other species in the galaxy is this: they never stop. The warning was real. The galaxy had learned it the hard way, and they would never forget.